What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Shakhtar Donetsk versus Barcelona in the Champions League. We do return now to UCL action, where Barcelona are very close to qualifying for the next round of the Champions League for the first time in about 3 years. It is a big game coming up for Barcelona to secure a place in the round of 16. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 6:45 p.m. local time. Yet again, Barcelona do have the early kickoff in the Champions League, and this match will be taking place at the Volksparkstadion in Germany. As we all know, Shakhtar Donetsk are a Ukrainian side. Right now they're going through a war in their country, so they cannot play Champions League fixtures in the Ukraine, so they have been relocated to Germany, and we're going to be playing at the home stadium of Hamburg, one of the Bundesliga sides. I believe they're actually in the second division now, which is quite unfortunate. Great stadium, but there were some issues with Barcelona traveling yesterday. Apparently there was a hostage situation in the German airport, so Barcelona were delayed a little bit in their travel, but nonetheless everyone arrived there safe. The hostage situation did end, and again we are playing in Germany tomorrow, and the referee for this match has also been confirmed, and it will be the Bosnian and Herzegovinian referee Ifran Pujtu. Let's now take a look at the Champions League group stage table, where Barcelona are currently sitting top of the table on 9 points. After playing 3 matches, we do have 3 wins. We've beaten every side one so far. Of course, we're in Antwerp and Shakhtar at home, and Porto away. Porto just behind us on 6 points. They've won 2 of their games and lost 1. Of course, Barcelona. Shakhtar Donetsk have won 3 points. They've of course been Royal Antwerp and have lost to Porto. And Barcelona and Antwerp have lost all 3 of their matches so far. So in this match, if Barcelona win, essentially they do qualify for the next round. It does depend on a few other factors. We'll wait and see how Porto does against Royal Antwerp as well. That could be a draw. I think if Porto and Antwerp draw and Barcelona win, we are going to qualify for the next round for sure. Again, first place not guaranteed quite yet. First place will be guaranteed once we beat Porto at home. So if we win this game, if we win the game against Porto, guaranteed first, guaranteed qualification. In the final match against Royal Antwerp away, we can rest and rotate in that game. That's going to be the main priority, of course, for that match. So, of course, Champions League group, when we first drew it, we knew it was going to be not a difficult task, but not, a smooth walk in the park. Barcelona have made hard work of it. Of course, the Porto away match was very, very difficult. We walked away with that very, very crucial victory. But we're on right track right now to finish top of the group, and that's, of course, the main objective. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Shakhtar Donetsk. Of course, Shakhtar are the biggest club in the Ukrainian division, and of course in the country of Ukraine as well. We did talk about them already a few days ago when we covered the first leg. We're going to talk about them very, very quickly. Let's first take a look at the last time we faced them, which of course was the 2-1 victory at home, with Ferran and Fermin Lopez getting 2 goals just before halftime to seal the 3 big points. Of course, second half we did concede. Shakhtar did have their chances here and there, but Barcelona overall did dominate the game and walk away with the victory. You can see the line for this match on the screen on the right hand side, and we could be seeing something very similar to this team tomorrow. Now if you take a look at Shakhtar's last 2 matches in all competitions, we're going to look at their last 2 games since the game where we played them last week, or I think the week before. Of course, we talked about those 2 other games. If you want to know about that, go look at the last match preview on the Shakhtar game. We're going to look at their 2 previous games. One of them is in the Ukrainian Cup in the quarterfinals, and the other one is the biggest game in Ukraine, Dynamo Kiev versus Shakhtar Donetsk. Firstly, 3-0 win away in the quarterfinals of their cup. It was a very strong victory for them. It was the first full match for their new manager as well. Of course, the new manager was on the dugout for the Barcelona game, but I think it was Dario Sonic who is the official manager. Of course, he was in the caretaker manager. They've replaced him now. So this is his first official game. 3-0 win. Very, very comfortable with them. And they do end up advancing to the semi-final of the Ukrainian Cup. Now, the last match of all competition was the Ukraine Derby, the biggest game in Ukraine club football-wise. It is Dynamo Kiev against Shakhtar. They were playing as the away team, and they did end up winning 1-0. This was a big, big win for them, and they did play very, very well. You can see the lineup, of course, on the screen, the 4-1-4-1 formation, which we can expect in tomorrow's match as well. It was a very tight game. I did watch the highlights, but it was majority of the chances going Shakhtar's way. Dynamo Kiev looked a bit slow, looked a bit lackluster, and Shakhtar, although they did create a few chances, weren't really being clinical. In the end, they got a late goal, 1-0, and it is a strong victory for them. And it also cements their spot in the 4th place position in the Ukrainian league, but they are 2 games played less than the top of the table. So once they play those games in hand, they'll end up overtaking them and going into 1st place. So overall, final thoughts on Shakhtar. As we all know, they're a very good side. They're very well managed, but the new manager, Mauricio Pusic, who of course come in, I think he was the PSV assistant manager, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Feyenoord, one of the 2 Dutch side. He's come in as a new manager. They scored 4 goals in 2 games. If you conceded no goals as well, so he's on a very, very good run at the moment, and he's improving the side. He's making them more of an attacking team, and also their pressing has improved a lot. This is a very, very strong team. Again, look in terms of players out for, they have quite a few players in their pivot. Their captain is a very good player. The number 44, you can see on the screen there, the ball center back. He's very, very experienced, very, very good, especially in the duel. Does have a bit of a lack of pace, but 1v1, he is a very strong defender. And this is the team that, again, are going to be under the caution, going to be under the radar, but they're going to go out there and want to get the result. They want to upset Barcelona. They want to get maybe at least a draw. Of course, go for the win in their home stadium. But so far in their home stadium, I think this season they did lose to Porto 3-1, so that does show they do have some vulnerabilities there as well. But it's a good side nonetheless. Shouldn't take it easy. And again, they are somewhat of a team that creates a lot of chances. I wouldn't say they're very, very clinical, but they do create a lot of chances. So if we keep letting them create chances, they can definitely find the back of the net. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed. It was, of course, released yesterday when they traveled to Germany, but it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Cancelo, Balde, Araujo, Martinez, Gavi, Varane, Pedri, Lewandowski, Raphinha, Inaki, Peña, Joao Felix, Christensen, Alonso, Romeo, Gundogan, Kounde, Astrolaga, Lamine Yamal, Casado, and Fermin Lopez. Of course, only 2 first-team players missing in Frankie de Jong and Sergio Roberto. Still no green light for Frankie de Jong quite yet. We could see him maybe in the squad list this weekend against Alaves, but best case scenario, or you could even say a worst case scenario, he'll be back right after the international break. I believe we play Rayo Vallecano, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, from the last squad list, no other changes. Let's now get into the press conference reaction of Jules Kounde. As we all know, during the Champions League press conference, a player always becomes a manager, and usually that player should be starting, but we have seen Xavi play around with that quite a bit. Nonetheless, Jules Kounde was selected. He has spoken to the media about a lot of things around Barcelona, behind the scenes dressing room, his injuries and stuff like that. Let's go and see what Jules Kounde had to say this afternoon in the presser. He first came out, he's asked about the locker room atmosphere and things like that. He said the locker room is good, or where there are things to improve upon. The last 2 games leave us with mixed feelings. We are very happy to win, but we know that we have to improve. Tomorrow we want to win because it's very important, and we want to give ourselves the best version. Then he was asked on the team's feelings, saying that we have no doubt, we don't feel good, but we are positive and we want to keep working. Of course, this is about the performance against Sociedad over the past weekend. There are games in which you don't play well and you still have to go out there and get 3 points. We showed that we know how to suffer and respond to the difficulties. He then asked about the luck of the champion. Now, we saw Laporte speaking to a kid after the game, Sociedad fan. He was saying to him, he was taking a picture and autograph, like, sorry, but sometimes when you're the champion, you get that extra bit of luck. And Kounde said, I agree that sometimes there are games in the season where you don't play well and you don't have the best feelings and desire. It happened last year, maybe it will happen again. The important thing is to know that where we can improve and suffer together like we did last season and in the last game. Kounde on the competition and the defense, of course. We have made a lot of acquisitions in the defense, especially in center back recently, and I'm very happy to have Inigo and more competition. The important thing is that the team is stronger regarding the return after the injury. Sometimes there are deadlines, but I felt strong and comfortable to return. It has nothing to do with the high level that those who play with me are showing. Again, Kounde did return early from injury. People think it's because he's been match fitness, and that's why he's gotten ahead of other certain players. Then asked on the difficulties of facing high pressure teams, and it's a very collective issue. La Real made it very difficult for us to get the ball out. We have lost quite a few balls and throws. I think it is a matter of communication and being in movement and intensity. These are things to improve upon, and I'm sure we will do that tomorrow. Then he was asked on Shakhtar Donetsk, saying that it's a team that plays the ball well. If you give them time and don't put pressure on them, in the second half we didn't do it as much and they were good. It cost us in the end. We will try not to leave them time to play. He then asked on the return of Pedri, saying that I see him happy. It's always difficult to be injured and not be able to compete, which is what he likes. If he has played, he is already 100%. Kounde was then asked on the team's feelings for tomorrow's match, saying that we know it's a difficult situation. We have made a long journey with the circumstances that they have been put under, but we are here to compete and play football, of course, with the war and also traveling to Germany instead of Ukraine for the game. And finally, Jules Kounde was asked on whether he gets tired or feels disconnected at the end of matches. And from my point of view, it is more of a disconnection. We need to be more concentrated in terms of defending. We are working on it, and we have to improve on that aspect. And that concludes Jules Kounde's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Shakhtar Donetsk tomorrow. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. He did his press conference this afternoon, of course, alongside Jules Kounde. He has a lot of questions about, the team, the La Real match, the upcoming matches, his 2-year anniversary as the Barcelona manager as well. So let's go and see what the Gavi had to say this morning in the presser. He first, of course, was asked like everyone else on the game the other weekend against La Real, and we always summarize what happened in football and not in football. We lacked things to do intensity that we lacked, and the superior intensity that La Real put in. We must have more control of the match, and that happens to do a more aggressive press, despite the fact that La Real is a great team. In the end, we had faith. The first half was not acceptable, but without being good, we reduced the disadvantage with Real Madrid and Atletico, and that must be a turning point. Of course, Real Madrid and Atletico both dropped points this past weekend. Then after the return of Pedri's and other players as well, saying that surely we will notice it for the better. Pedri, Robert, Jules, Rafa are all vital for the team beyond the football level. We have been getting the best out of games we could. We're not doing well in some games as well. Against Madrid, yes, we played well. Also against Athletic Club and Sevilla. Against Shakhtar, not the whole game, but surely with the return of these players, we can improve. He's then asked on the next round, of course, of the Champions League round 16, and that we've done our homework. 9 out of 9 so far. An idea, background, but it must be confirmed. The objective, as I already said, is to advance to the next round of the Champions League, and then secondly is to come first. We have it in our hands, and tomorrow is a very good opportunity to get one step closer to that goal. He's asked on the recovering the level of the plays, and that while there have been games like there was against Athletic Club and Sevilla not so long ago, we must recover that level. We are self-critical. We want to impose our ideas starting tomorrow. It is essential to recover sensations and win the games. Then asked on his 2-year anniversary as the Barcelona manager. Of course, 2 years ago today, Xavi was appointed officially as the club managers, and we have been fulfilling the objectives that we have set out for ourselves as a staff and as a club set for us. We arrived at a difficult time in terms of numbers and classifications. We've saved the season. In the second season, we won 2 titles and we played good football. We have to achieve excellency. We're halfway to recovering a great Barcelona side. The summary is positive. I'm very happy, but we're only halfway through the total success of the club, which is a Barcelona in Europe, and continue to compete in the domestic competitions as well. Then he was asked on the right back situation. Of course, we've seen Araujo play there quite a bit, and of course, Cancelo is the main natural right back, and the Cancelo will recover his national position very soon. He will play 80% as a winger on the right side or left side. That was because we wanted to adjust more defensively against Sociedad and Madrid, but we wanted 3 correctors behind him, of course, a 3 center back. He will return to his natural position as soon as possible, and that's how I and he felt as a coach and player respectively on his positions in the past few games. He's then asked about the criticism lately, saying that at Barcelona it will always happen with the opinions of all kind. It is the environment that we have, and we must analyze what has happened and be honest with the players. We did the analysis. Without a great game, we added the 3 points, and we must accept the criticism because it is normal when you don't play a good game. Then asked on the influence of Pedri in the squad, saying I see him inside and everything improves when he touches the ball and everyone clears up. Pedri has enjoyed a lot with us. He has scored many goals, but with the injuries, he has not been able to do it always. I think that's what Pau Torres is referring to. I think Pau Torres did an interview with Joao Romero saying that, Pedri's been suffering with injuries since the Tokyo games, and it sucks that he's always injured because he's such a great player, and he says that Barcelona and La Liga need him, but he needs to be more fit more often, which of course, self-explanatory, fair enough. Xavi then asked on getting points in the last minute. Of course, we scored last minute winners against, Athletic Club, Celta Vigo, Osasuna, Sociedad, the list goes on. Xavi said the mentality is very good since we took over the team. In the first season, we lacked football, but in the second season, we picked it up. I think that based on the faith we have been winning matches, we have a team with the desire and a winner mentality. Xavi was then asked on the team winning by playing badly, saying that look, it's our objective. We have to achieve it to dominate the games like we did in the Clasico. Then when we were good, but we can't stop, and the result is there. We have to give the continuation. The objective is always to play well and, of course, win the games. And finally, Xavi was asked on the sporting project at Barcelona, saying there has been turning points. We won the Super Cup, of course, against Madrid, but we played excellent football. This was a turning point for the players to believe in the project. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Shakhtar Donetsk tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best to predict this lineup. I think it will be very difficult to predict, of course. We're coming up to an international break. The starting players have been playing a lot recently. Will he make some rotation? Of course, we have a home Alaves game before the international break, which is fairly easy on paper. We want to get the Champions League points ASAP. I think Xavi will go fairly strong in this match. I think he'll go with this lineup on the screen right now. I think he'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Cancelo, Kounde, Araujo, Alejandro Balde, midfield three of Gundogan, Gavi, and Pedri, and a front three of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and Joao Felix. First in the back line, there are of course a few changes. I think Xavi will go back to the traditional back four. Inigo Martinez has been playing quite a bit recently. He's played like 5 games in a row now. I think he'll give him a rest. We're hearing that Christensen has been having this niggling injury recently, so I think Xavi will just pick his 2 best center backs in Kounde and Araujo. Cancelo and Balde, of course, still at the full backs. We could see Alonso make an appearance in this game to give Balde some rest, but I think he'll go strong in the full back positions. In the midfield, of course, I think Pedri will get his first start in a very, very long time. Of course, Gavi is suspended this weekend, so he can play this match full 90, no worries whatsoever. He'll get a nice long week off. Gundogan in the pivot. I don't see Romeo starting this game. I think Romeo will definitely make an appearance, I think, off the bench, but I think he'll go fairly strong to begin with. I think he will go with Raphinha on the side, so first start for Pedri and Raphinha in quite a while. Joao Felix on the left. There are reports saying that Felix could be rested. Tony Juan Marti saying that he's been absolutely wrong lately. So I think by that standard, I think Xavi will go Joao Felix, and of course Robert Lewandowski up front. So I think Xavi, what he'll do, go fairly strong from the beginning, then rest and rotate as the game progresses, because I think again his main goal is to get 3 points here and qualify and get first place as soon and as quick as possible. And that's like I think that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Xavi will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was a Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup. I've gone with this lineup on the screen right now, making a few changes here and there. Firstly, I have rested the Joaos. I think the Joaos have played a ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, amount of minutes. My first priority was to rest both of them, and also I have put Araujo on the bench simply on the fact that if he gets injured, we're screwed. I think Araujo is a player where he plays 2 or 3 high-intensity games. He needs a rest. We cannot risk anything with him. So with that being said, in the back line, I have gone with Kounde at right back. It is a major risk. He has not played there in quite a long time, but I would risk it for the biscuit. Of course, Inigo Martinez playing so well recently. Christensen got a nice little rest against Sociedad, so I'll give him the nod as well. Midfield 3 picked itself really. I wouldn't consider Fermin, Lopez, or Romeo at the moment. Again, Pedri wouldn't play the full game for me. I'd probably bring on Fermin and Romeo half an hour to go, somewhere around there. Gavi for me will play the full 90. In the front 3, I have gone with Raphinha and Ferran on the wings. I think that's a bit more balanced than Raphinha and Joao Felix, especially against the opponent we're going to come up against. And Robert Lewandowski up front, he needs a big game. I think he needs to perform, maybe score a goal or 2. I would definitely consider bringing in Lamine Yamal in this game. I was thinking about starting Lamine Yamal. I'm thinking, you know what, we just got to get this win. We need some experience more so than raw talent. I think Lamine Yamal, I'll definitely bring him off the bench for sure, for him to get some minutes, probably give Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo. I wouldn't even consider bringing them on unless we're losing in any capacity whatsoever. But that's the lineup that I would select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I think it'll be a fairly straightforward win for Barcelona, but I don't think the match will be straightforward. I think it will be difficult moments here and there. I've gone Barcelona win this match by 2-0. I really hope we get to keep the clean sheet. I think the clean sheet is absolutely vital into progressing and winning this game. I think in the end, Barcelona will create chances and they will score a goal. It's just now down to the defense, keeping it solid at the back and getting that clean sheet. I think in the end, we will. I see it being 2-0. I honestly would not be surprised if we do end up drawing this game. I don't think we'll lose in any capacity whatsoever. I think a draw is definitely a possibility. Depends if we're still lackluster from the Sociedad game and how much Xavi rotates. If Xavi rotates, I think if Xavi goes fairly strong, this should be a win 100%. I have no doubt in my mind, but hopefully the main thing for me is that clean sheet. We've got to keep it, especially to guarantee our chances in winning this game. But I have gone Barcelona win this match by 2-0. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the score line will be. So that was my match preview for Shakhtar Donetsk versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your score prediction. But secondly, on those lineups, firstly, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with, you the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me. Follow share for the match, but my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Huge game ahead. Nothing but the 3 points. take care, and Forza Barca.